students. So we're at 430 students K through 12. I want to do quick kudos. We did a cereal box activity and fundraiser, and the school raised 510 boxes to donate to the food shelf. And special thanks to Emily Pearson and Lisa Olson and the high school student council for coordinating that. And I believe we're going to have something on the website or a video on social media with the. It's already posted. So if you haven't seen it, you can. The dominoes. The dominoes. Yeah. So. Yeah. And then I want to congratulate Ms. Merchant and her staff for an outstanding honor society and scholarship program. So it was very well done. They did a nice job. So, and we expect the same level of excellence for graduation on Friday.
It will be. We met today, and it should be smooth. So.
Yeah.
It's at 6, right?
Yes.
6 o'clock. And it's been 6 o'clock for a while, a couple years. So.
I thought that just and since we're talking about that, what board members that are attending, what do you want us?
Okay, I'll address it now instead of I was going to add it.
Do it twice.
No, I was going to add it to my report, but that's okay because we met today. And instead of putting 7 of us on the stage and really being crowded, because we want to have, I am thrilled that we have 5 board members who will be in attendance, so that's wonderful. But we will have reserved seating on the floor for board members, and then we'll let you know after so many kids where it'll be your turn. And yes, Boyd, we will make sure that you get Rachel.
All right.
Nice.
All right, I'll continue on then. COVID-19 update. Last Monday, we had 2 positive cases on May 13th, additional 3 cases on May 16th, and we've had 3 more on May 20th. So there's an uptick across the state. Hospitalizations are up a little bit. But locally, it's not going to impact the last week of school or graduation ceremony. So, and that is my last COVID update of the school year. I'm looking for that one for a long time. Update on daycare providers. We'll continue to have 4 providers in the building. We're moving rooms a little bit. We'll have 2 of them will be where they are right now. Down by the art room. Those will remain there. The one that's in the community ed room, that will not be a daycare next year. It's going to be down by, what corner would that be? The northeast corner of the building. We have one on the high school side of the doors and one on the elementary. And so it'll be 2 access points for parents dropping kids off, take some of the congestion out of the elementary, Head Start, kindergarten area. So I think it's a good move. So, and we have two lease agreements that will be in the board packet tonight for approval. So, staffing update. And I'm trying to remember now. I think these will be formally done at the June board meeting. So this is just information for tonight, and you'll act on it at the next board meeting. Proposing full-time activities director, appointing Sam to that. And that is to take over the rest of CC retiring. And I have it in my board report. So she'll take over all of the community ed programmings, the budgets, activities, adult, student programming. She'll oversee the budget for ECFE, things like the holiday extravaganza, Education Plus, school-wide or school website manager. So that'll be a full 12-month position, 260 days, and the salary is listed in the board write-up here. So based on the ASME salary schedule, it's $61,434. Part-time transportation supervisor, and this is something that's Mr. Abbey and I talked about, and per his request, We're going to reduce that to a 0.75 FTE. And he will continue to do all the transportation supervisor duties. But as far as the maintenance and some of the cleaning and stuff that he was doing in the bus garage, we're going to reassign that. And we're actually still 1.5 custodians short, so we'll be trying to fill that. So it'll be roughly 6 hours per day for 200-day position. And that's about $38,228 is the salary for that. Finance and HR services, aka Harley Poppets. We'll continue with the accounts management, and that's accounts payable, purchasing, billing, the receivables, maintaining accounting forms and documentation, working with our business manager. Human resource duties, time clock plus management, onboarding of new staff, exit surveys, background checks, that type of thing. And she'll be kind of our primary liaison with Sheena for staff. Administrative assistant in food service, I'd like to be able to advertise for this position starting tomorrow. And this would be taking over the food service piece of it, plus administrative assistant that we're short on right now. And this would be a full-time position based on the ASME salary schedule, estimated $41.70. So with all of these changes and increases and decreases, it's fairly neutral in the district offices as far as total salary and stuff. Also in my report, I mentioned Diane Carlos, and we're going to return her to her enrichment coordinator position that she originally started at several years ago. And so that'll be half-time enrichment coordinator, half-time interventionist. Her position or her position's already in the budget, so that's a neutral. With that said, I'd like to advertise for an on-call floater substitute teacher. And the intent of this position is to fill the gap created by significant lack of available substitutes. This person will provide substitute services for certified and non-certified staff based on the greatest need on a daily basis. A portion of the cost for this position is already included as part of the district's budgeted, usually $75,000 to $85,000. I think we're close to $90,000 right now for subcosts this year, district-wide. So the additional cost of this position would be based on benefits. But I think having a dedicated person in the building when we need subs, we haven't had a day where Diane wasn't doing something. So I think it's a good, I think it would really appreciate, the people in the office really appreciate knowing that they have one person they can count on and they don't have to call as many people. So I'd like to advertise that one.
When it says on-call, are they on-call? Or they just?
They show up here every day.
Okay, so it's
and
not really an on-call position?
No.
Okay.
And I can take that off there. It's more of a floater.
Got it.
They're in the building.
It's basically a position and then they just.
Yes.
They're not gonna know what they're doing when they show up. Yeah.
No, they don't. They could be secretary, they could be para, they could cook, who knows? So.
Golf coach?
Yeah, once you get assigned, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I still have to advertise and fill a position, so we got to be careful here. And the last one I have is part-time media and public relations coordinator. This position will focus on building and implementing school-wide marketing and communication strategies that will help attract new families and potential school employees, as well as strengthen relationships and engagement of family and community members. It would help to improve the district's efforts in addressing strategic plans, goals 6 and 8. And I do have it here if you want to know what goal 6 and 8 is. But it does address a couple of things on our strategic plan. And it's part-time, 5 to 10 hours per week, starting salary at $20 per hour. Total hours would be capped at 400 hours per year. for a total cost of $8,000. And it's kind of one of those things, would probably be really more intense time during the school year when there's lots of activities and stuff, getting that out there. But I think it's something that would benefit the district to have that position on there. That's my really quick run through. Any questions on any of these, or?
Such a good explanation. We're no question.
I lulled you all to sleep is what I did. Okay.
The substitute teaching, is that something that's, or the on-call, like, is that something that we're inventing on our own, or is that something you've seen elsewhere?
No, there's other districts that are starting to do that, because it's gotten to be so hard to find subs. Getting someone that they have a solid job, they got a salary, they can count on that. We're running out of retired teachers that are willing to come in every once in a while. They've just gotten to that point where at a certain age you stop wanting to sub, so that's just the way it is. So I think there's more and more of that happening. So.
I'm just trying to think of who you're thinking of to fill that ad that you're going to put out. I mean, is it a retired teacher who says, yeah, I'll do a little of everything? Is it somebody with a recent graduate from?
I'm guessing it's going to be someone that's a recent graduate, young and willing to do whatever. I think a retired teacher would be a little more thoughtful on, do I really want to go in that classroom with that group, or would I want to do this instead? So.
And would they need much in the way of licensure, or is that just something?
They'd have to have either an elementary or high school, some type of teaching licensure.
You could get a waiver for a more, like a multifaceted person who just happens to be good in the school, but.
They'd have to have a license from MDE. So, and you can have people that are community experts get a sub-license from MDE. If you have a 4-year degree, there's ways that you can get that without a teaching degree, but the minimal requirement would be a teaching license.
Joyce used to do that, right? Before she had the full-time kindergarten. She was our
Yes, that's right.
floater.
Prior to, yes, she was our floater. So we've done it for a couple of years now. So just to wrap up, I want to start advertising for 3 positions: the administrative assistant, food service coordinator, on-call floater substitute teacher. I'll get rid of the on-call. I'll just call it a floater substitute, or I don't know. I really hate making up names for positions I create. I don't know what the
Floaters.
Floater's kind of a weird name too. I don't know.
It might be
I can do
Full-time substitute.
Yeah, you could. It's a full-time substitute.
You're a full-time sub.
Yeah.
well, you're making it too easy.
Well, I think that's what sets it apart from the current system, is the fact that it is
Yeah.
full-time.
Full-time. Okay.
Thinking it.
There's a pattern here, isn't there? Yes. Especially this time of year, it gets to be worse. And then the part-time media public relations coordinator position.
That media public PR, is that something that somebody in the school, if they were interested?
Yes.
Wasn't Lisa doing it this last?
Lisa's been doing a lot of it, and so we're using COVID dollars to pay a stipend, because I asked her to do more than what would be fair to ask any employee to do.
If
So
somebody were interested, that would be.
yes,
So then
yes.
is Lisa gonna do it still at all? Like have any part of it? Or-
To be an equal employer, we have to advertise and open it up, because we're creating a position.
I didn't know if she was just wanting that stuff off of her.
I love it.
Okay.
Thank you for finishing the. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, my schedule is in the report I presented to you, so you'll know where I'm at, and you have my numbers, so.
Sounds like you're gonna be having a lot of fun, Jeff.
Yeah. Yep,
Or maybe not.
I'll let you know how it goes. That's all I have, unless there's questions.
Okay. High school principal report.
Good evening. Our band and choir are getting ready for their trip to Memphis and Nashville, and that's June 7th through the 12th, and 26 students will be attending with Mrs. Tangy and Mrs. Nordine. We'll have an athletic and arts awards and knowledge bowl and kind of a hodgepodge as we add to it. And it's at 8:30 in the morning on Thursday, and all 7th through 12th graders will attend. And part of the reason for wanting it during the day is to really help our younger students see all the things that are available to our students, and really see our older kids get that recognition, and hopefully help encourage more of them to go out for different activities and sports. And then summer school is scheduled for June 6th through the 17th for credit recovery. Or I've had some students want to know, well, can I take the foreign language during the summer so they can take full load of classes from our teachers? And I'm saying absolutely. I think that's wonderful that since we have more electives to offer to do in-house with teachers during the year, and get their foreign language during the summer if they want to. And then we already addressed graduation, and then June 14th through the 17th, I'll be going to the high school principals summer conference. And I don't want to say we're winding down this week, we're just revving up till graduation on Friday. So as everyone knows, busy week with sports and activities, and we'll end on a high note. Any questions?
What time do you want us here on Friday? By 5:45? That too late?
5:45 is plenty early. Yeah, that's plenty early.
On the board agenda tonight, we've got the resignation from Adam Matthews.
Yes, he took a job in his hometown, so he resigned before he even started International Falls, where he's from.
So is the plan to post? Have you posted?
As soon as Adam got a hold of me, I posted it, and we had 2 applicants, and I think that was a Thursday, and we interviewed on Monday. And we're bringing a recommendation to the board. Sam Langseth, and he's from Coquet, and has experience with interventions and social studies, and I will say came highly recommended, and I happen to know the principal at Cloquet, so that helps a lot. So looking forward to having him on board.
Like, I can't keep track.
Because I said, well, we lost, I go, oh, no, and 2 seconds later, she says, well, we have some.
Maybe have her post all the jobs.
I think so. Other duties as a son.
Yeah. That list keeps growing.
I see the business office is next on the agenda. We already covered the ground that we would like to cover, okay. Activities Director and Community Ed, Sam Lyons.
Yeah. As Mary mentioned, this week we're doing athletic awards, activities awards, special student recognitions on Thursday in the morning to echo Mary's perspective. I think it's important for our whole student body to be, especially when we're trying to promote involvement in those extracurricular activities. So excited that that will be there. It will be in the form of a spring pep fest also. So the pep band's going to play. Our spring sports will get some recognition in terms of, because they don't typically get a pep fest in the spring. So we'll have our spring sports come up and talk about their season a little bit. So it'll be a fun morning. Especially that late in the school year, I think having the different things happening will help keep attention. And that's where we'll do 3 and 4 sport athletes, letter awards. So any students who have lettered in an extracurricular activity will get recognized that morning as well. So a fun morning of kind of giving shout outs to students who've been working hard all year. As Tim mentioned, in the, as he drove in, busy night as is a busy kind of spring at this point in the year. Baseball's playing a doubleheader against Black Duck. We've got a junior high track meet. Tomorrow, softball goes to their first playoff game in Red Lake Falls against Ada Borup at 4. If they win, they play a second game tomorrow night. And for sure then go on to play on Thursday in potentially Red Lake Falls or BGMR. So the playoff season has already started. Our boys and girls golf teams are in Roseau tomorrow for subsections. Their section meet, if they make it, is next Tuesday and Wednesday in Bemidji. And then baseball starts their playoff season next week. Track is, I think, subsections is in Roseau on Thursday. So onward. We're not over yet, but starting the postseason run, which is quite exciting. And we have quite some competitors in all of our spring athletes this year. So excited to see what kind of runs we can post up. Alongside that, I want to give some shout outs to people who have made this spring season possible. On that list is Brad Abbey, who has done an incredible job at catching nearly every curveball, and at this point, every curveball I've thrown at him. I mean, literally, things are changing last minute, and he has given me transportation whenever I've asked of it, with not only provided it, but also then done it with enthusiasm and a positive attitude. So many thanks to Brad for working through that with me. Also, all of that has impacted Seth significantly, because I know he's got a lot of crossover between bus drivers and his staff as well, so I know he's feeling the brunt of all of those changes. Many thanks. He also was out on the baseball field with me 2 Tuesdays ago trying to get water out of the infield, which involved squeegees, shovels, and shop vacs. He has been party to my harebrained schemes of trying to get these games to happen with success. We played that, who was it? It wasn't Red Lake, it was the one before that. Nevis. We played that Nevis game. It was a little wet out there, but the boys did well. Much appreciation to Seth and his crew for all of their work in making these things happen. Also on that list is Lisa for putting up with all of those changes. You've seen a lot of that on the Facebook page. We actually have decided at this point that the posts on the Facebook page were causing more confusion than help, so we've decided to stop that late in the season. But she was, I have much appreciation for all of her work this year in putting that kind of information out, and a plug for that position in that public relations and marketing position is an incredibly important piece of the work that I do in getting visibility to the programs that we're running. So, and I am not good at that stuff. So having someone who is creative and kind of keeping up with me and our sports and all of the activities that happen is an incredibly important part of the work we're doing in the school. So, want to make sure that those folks, and of course I have not mentioned a whole school's worth of people who have made all of that stuff happen. It's been a wild spring, and not possible without a lot of people's help. So, okay. And then the last thing, I added this late tonight, this very colorful sheet in front of you. Springtime is, the last 3 weeks, our teachers, as you guys can attest, have been bombarded with handing out flyers and activities and registration forms for all of our summer stuff. So this will be a kind of summary, and this is already a draft because I now have to add another activity that we just got planned today. This will be a summary we send out, hoping it goes out tomorrow, to our elementary students to say, you've seen all of these registration forms come across your kid's desk in the last 3 weeks. Here's the summary. You can go to the website to register, you can contact me to register or figure out where you want to go, but these are the things that you can look forward to over the course of the summer. So, I'm excited about the offerings, anything from summer school camp to swim lessons to summer ball. Liz Tangy does band lessons for upper elementary and high school. We're bringing back Prairie Fire Theater this year, which will happen August 15th. That's a week-long theater camp for ages 7 through 18, so it's really quite all-encompassing. They bring in 2 directors. They have auditions on Monday morning, and then they run the camp throughout the week. And then there are performances for everyone involved and the community then Friday night and Saturday afternoon of the end of that week. So, yeah, exciting. Like I said, a summary so that parents have some like, oh yeah, I remember that. Now this is where I can get signed up or go there. So, any questions on any of that? Cool. Okay.
No questions? Okay,
Thanks, Sam.
good, you can take a breath.
That whole thing is the experience I've had this spring, the whirlwind, right?
You be able to remember the reminder?
Yeah, I have it in my hand. The downfall is that I'm gonna think we play Walker in something, and I won't know the difference between.
I could have done that.
Well, you asked me to, and that's how I remember things. So, Sheena, I don't know if that's been clear, but this is my dad. That's also yes.
Okay.
I've thought that when I called him Tim, I was like, maybe that's not as clear as everyone else assumes.
That won't be in
Sheena.
Yeah, you call me Tim.
Yeah, there you go.
It's not like you call him dad.
I've gone back and forth with this. Some people find it really weird I call him Tim, and I don't know.
It carries too much like nepotistic value if she starts calling me dad.
I
It's
know.
like we just talked about her potential
Right.
contract. All right. Seth, you want to go over more buildings and ground stuff?
Yeah, actually, the first one that's up here is request to hang a student memorial with class group photo in the commons. When Nordloff passed away, I guess, I didn't know a lot about it, I just found out the history on that. The student body, from my understanding, got together and had that made for them. And the request is to have that hung out in the commons underneath the class picture. I'm hesitant on that. I definitely understand why, but I'm hesitant for the reason of if we put that up there, what's to stop the other ones from going even farther? You know, we have with Nikki D, Del Vecchio will have 4 memorial plaques up there, I believe. And who knows how many more to come, hopefully none, period. But we have the memorial plaques up there already underneath the class pictures, and I'm just not comfortable with drilling more holes in the wall to add more stuff underneath that. We can definitely hang it somewhere in the school, just not in the commons area. At some point when it reaches that time, the class pictures transfer from the commons area into the west hallway, and just, it's a lot of holes to be drilled in the wall for one. 2, what's to stop the other ones? How far do we let this go with hanging stuff up? So I think it actually might be on the session for you guys to decide tonight on how far you want to let that go.
So
I'm not sure.
past practice, and if you walk out there, there's just the plaque underneath, and that's kind of the consistent across the board what we do. So we're asking direction from the board if that's something we want to add more to it, or stay with what's been done historically.
So everything that's out there right now, which I've seen some of them, from time to time, are.
Is the
Just a little
the
picture with their.
yep.
I mean, to be honest, that's really big compared to
No.
what was in here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was anticipating something about.
Yeah.
No,
that was-
that's just-
I was too.
So that's what it is. It's not that we don't want to do it, but what is suitable within the school building, and there's kind of got to be a balance. So, but this is something that we'd like to hear back from the board on what your thoughts are, and if you wanted to wait till June and make it a formal decision, so that we set policy on what we will and won't do.
I guess I'll say that I kind of agree with you guys. We kind of have a precedence and it makes sense and it's the appropriate size. Yeah, if we can find another spot for it, that'd be great, but it probably wouldn't be appropriate going underneath the picture because it's probably almost as big as the picture.
So for Nikki, you said there's 4?
I think he would be the 4th one.
Oh, I thought you meant he had 4.
Nope.
I
No.
didn't understand.
He will be the 4th memorial.
And I had a conversation with Nicole Olson about options for Nikki's memorial and said that that was the kind of standard practice. She had asked about some other options and said that that memorial was the standard practice, and we talked about some other things in the gyms, which are still we're working through some options in that. But in terms of so my point is, that's their plan. After having requested more, we have kind of said, like, that's the protocol. So I think putting this up there might be a little bit of like,
I guess I'd also say,
wait.
try and make it a uniform size so that you don't have one slightly bigger than the other. Just have them all, try and get uniform.
So his class provided that?
To the best of my knowledge.
Yeah, that's what his mom said, class reappearing.
If we can find a more suitable spot for it, it's kind of out of the way. Not in the commons area underneath.
Well, somewhere.
I guess I would-
To be moved.
I feel that we need to be consistent across the board, and if we're gonna do memorials with the class and just the plaque, then that's what we should go with on the
Is there
school.
one already in the gym for someone?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
I thought there was one
I-
for
Bobby
Lloyd
Sue.
and Susie.
Bobby Sue?
Bobby
well,
Sue.
some of those banners have, at the
But that's-
bottoms, have in memory of, and
Yeah.
Bobby Sue is on there. But
Yeah.
the banners have a much
Broader.
broader purpose, right?
Okay.
It's
I
not a
couldn't remember,
specific.
I just thought I saw something.
Yeah, yeah, yes, and there are, like, Kyle Noble has one in there.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So I think families have bought them.
uh-huh.
And that's what Nicole and I were talking about, was she wanted to contribute to something that was in the gym.
Uh-huh.
And she and I are gonna be in communication about opportunities to do that.
I was just thinking that I remembered seeing something.
Yep. But again, those are state appearances and
Right,
conference
yeah.
champions, so the
Yeah.
banners themselves, I think, have a
They're just
function.
sponsored by
Yes,
that
yes.
family or,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think we've been going by past practice, and maybe we need to put something down in writing. So my recommendation is that I'll get with the administrative team. Oh, jeepers, it's the last week in May. But we'll put in what we recommend would be kind of the standard. Because there's something with trees too, that we plant trees. So we'll take a look at our memorials and maybe try to come up with, I don't know if it's gonna be set in stone by June, but we'll get something in writing, so then it's not just
You could address kind of the different options.
options for
even, as far as,
memorials
yeah.
on what
And
the
that
school.
could be like guidance, and if somebody asks, here
Yeah.
are some options that the school is comfortable with.
That's my concern, is that we get into an almost competitive nature, but where the next one's bigger and the next one's bigger. and-
Well, you don't want to
And
over glorify one.
Really would like to put a policy on it. I'm
Consistency. You know what I
uncomfortable
mean?
with making the class hallway list sort of a memorial as well.
Oh.
I think it's got its place there as where you go look at who you graduated with. And at what point at the age of, Tim Lyon at the age of 60 dies, does he go up on there as a memorial? We're really putting our toe in a big pond here. So I would like to see us standardize that and put a policy, have the board set a policy.
Okay.
So we don't encounter this again.
Okay. So at this point, I'll contact the family and say that we don't have a place for that at this time in the building.
Well, Seth mentioned an alternative location. Do you have ideas?
No.
No.
But then we're going down
Right.
what are the alternatives on the school property and stuff, so. I will call the family and I'll have to talk with
There
them
are
and see.
things that are named for that.
Just feel it out.
Place around the fields and
The time up to present, I guess, has been in the district office. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's where that has been, right?
Yeah, up on the shelf.
And I guess I do agree with you, Tim. We should, I guess for the plaque under the class picture, I'd say would be while they're in high school, because otherwise, you're right. You start going down, get everybody on there sooner or later.
And that's why those
So-
plaques go with the
Yeah.
graduating class, because it's
Because his
during that
picture
time.
wouldn't necessarily be in the picture of the graduating class, correct?
No.
I mean, he doesn't
Yep.
Correct.
graduate.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
I understand the morbidity of that statement, but he's not there, but they want him to be a part of that graduation. So
Yep.
that's, I see that as appropriate.
Yep.
So I will call Nordlofts and just say that we're having that on hold. We're gonna revisit our memorial policy and kind of let them decide if they
So
want
the
to.
request did not come from the class.
No.
It came from the parent.
Came from the family, yeah. So I will communicate and we'll just not put it anywhere until we come up with something a little more firm on what we feel is appropriate. Does that sound okay?
Yes.
And next on the list is the update on the road repair. Kind of gave a quick summary at the very beginning with the board committees. Since we met with, I think I met with you, Boyd, and we met with Jill a little bit, what do you call it, hole, has grown significantly along the curb. So we think it's gonna be a little bit bigger than what it is. Rex Block came in, took a look at it, and he made a good estimate. We talked at length on what could be there. So that was the bid that we put in for the county, hopefully to repair it. June 6th is when they're gonna be up here and do an on-site, go around and take a look at everything. So we'll know more then. Any questions on that? Okay. And the last one is Minnesota Energy Resources Turnkey Rebate Program Incentive. So this tags along with the controls upgrade that we did in the school. And that was rather costly, but something that needed to be done. So I did a little bit of research, and then with some help from people from Minnesota Energy the last year, since we started the project, actually, we've been going through and look at potential rebates for the school, energy savings and stuff. And about 2 weeks ago, they got back to me, and I think everybody has a copy of it in their packet. And we're looking at, right now, a rebate of $30,875 in energy savings that we're gonna be getting back because of the upgrades and the efficiency program. So it's a little bit compared to the big scheme of things, but every little bit helps.
Will this apply to our utility bill, or will it be a lump sum?
Not sure yet.
Okay.
I gotta get ahold of Paul and ask him that question. There's no more questions, that's all I have.
Okay.
I have one thing. So we're having a staff potluck on Friday. What, 1:30? 1:30. So if you have nothing else to do, come out and join us and and that's open to all staff.
Is it in the courtyard or where?
Yes.
Courtyard, I believe.
If Seth will let, we gotta drag a grill in there somehow, so can we grill in there?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so,
Go right through the doors on the east side, right through to the counter,
all right,
the entrance.
we'll be in
Like that,
the,
Seth's like, oh yeah, I can get a grill.
We get mowers in there, we can get a grill.
We have that Tim Allen sound.
so if you're able, just pop in and we don't do enough. Friday, it's starting at 1:30. We've tried to extend that out to all staff and school-related people, so we don't do enough of that kind of stuff anymore. Back in the day, that used to be a normal thing, years and years ago. So we're trying to encourage that a little bit and build the community and stuff within the school, so.
And then Wednesday, we're also doing just a very low-key retirement party for Cece. We're gonna have cake and just people can stop by and wish her well.
What time is that?
Just all throughout the day, whenever.
She won't let us do anything else. So.
Yeah, she didn't want anything.
So make sure you show up and make a big deal.
Make a big deal.
I did,
Yes.
because I had to tell her. I didn't want her to be surprised, because she does
What
not
day
like
is
that
that,
kind of stuff.
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
do have one more quick addition. This year, this is a first for up in the northern Minnesota area. Think of the Wood School is gonna host the aquatics facility operator training course up here, which is extremely hard to have there. All the testing is typically done farthest north, I think, is like Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park.
Oh, wow.
So we do have schools as far as Thief River Falls right now, I think is the farthest. And we have different hotels and international falls, potentially people from Bemidji, all coming up here because we're gonna be hosting this class.
What's the class?
Aquatics facility operator, that's for pools.
Got it.
Yeah. Yep. That's kind of something new and exciting.
How many attendees do you expect?
Right now, we have 11 signed up. We needed 6 to have the class up here. We have 11 right now, and then Horizon Pools is gonna put it out on their website, and so it's Minnesota statewide. So we have no idea how many people are gonna be up here. But it's filling a void that's been here for many, many years. Okay, now I'm done.
Any other comments, additions before we adjourn the working session? Okay, anybody want to take a quick break before we start the regular board meeting? No requests, all right. Let's start the regular board meeting. 7:03.
If he's gonna be here.
We're doing the pledge of allegiance.
There it goes. Got it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One of them wouldn't stand, and the other one would stand. Just like the 1972 Olympics again, right?
Tuesday, all right, thanks. Safe travels.
Yeah.
The flag in my classroom is like sitting from where I'm sitting, so I always turn it around.
What happened at the 1972 Olympics?
Oh, weren't they the,
I wasn't around for that.
we're going ages.
Nice.
Oh.
That's like elder abuse.
I can't wait till you have a hip replacement.
He's not gonna let you use his walker though.
All right. Meeting is called to order, 7:03, I think is what I said. I need a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. I don't see any changes that you made last minute, Jeff.
I'll make that motion.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Hang on just a second. Get myself organized here. Motion by Ellis, second by Sonstagard to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Need a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes, the approval of invoices, statements, and bank reconciliation, the approval of personnel resignations, retirements, and appointments, specifically Darlene Durbin retiring as an assistant cook or resigning, and Adam Matthews resigning as a social studies teacher. And appointments, Tiara Shaw to the health office nurse, and Samuel Longseth as a social studies teacher, BA step 4 for next year.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Johnson, second by Sonstagard. Discussion. I'm assuming that this Sam Longseth is a start September discussion.
August, into August.
August,
Okay.
In service, yeah.
beginning of the school.
Okay, hearing no discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That passes unanimously. Do I have a board presenter? Do we have any written communications? I see none in front of me. Any old business? Okay, we're moving on to new business. I need a motion and a second to adopt a resolution 2021-22-013, accepting a donation of $147.67 from Obonica Lutheran Church for the backpack program.
Make the motion.
Motion by Johnson, second by Robita. Discussion.
Thank you.
Thank you, yes. Was very consistent. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Need a motion and a second to approve the e-learning plan for the 22-23 school year.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ellis. Second by Johnson. Discussion.
Have teachers review this.
The MOU or the plan, Mary sent that out and shared it with staff.
Worked on it for, I don't know, a few months now.
So was staff input.
So all K through
Yep.
12 have had a
Yep.
chance to.
They have. And the MOU will be formally approved at the June meeting. In fact, you have a draft in your board packet.
So this is sort of a speak now or forever hold your peace moment? I mean,
Yep.
Okay, good. I mean, everybody who needs to be consulted has been, I think is what you're asking. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. You need a motion and a second to approve the engagement letter with Ide Bailey.
Motion.
Motion by Johnson,
I'll second.
Sonstagard. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Need a motion and a second to approve the memorandum of understanding for incentive pay for Mary Merchant, high school principal.
Make the motion.
Johnson,
I'll second.
Robita on the second. Discussion.
So it's gonna be 550 kids by fall? Sorry.
Sure. I don't know where, but yes.
There's the incentive, yeah.
Further discussion? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Motion and a second to approve the lease agreement with Jenica Merrill, Treehouse Tots Daycare.
Make the motion.
I'll
Motion
second.
by Ellis,
Pick one, yeah.
second by Johnson. Discussion. Once again, I heard you say that number, we're approving 4 of these? Or-
Two tonight.
Or
Two tonight.
but I mean, there will
There'll be 4 in the building. Yep.
Quite a momentum they've gathered. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Motion and a second to approve the lease agreement with Lucy Solar and Katie Johnson, Little Kids and Us Daycare.
All motion.
Robita,
Second.
second by Johnson. Discussion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Motion and a second to award the milk contract for 22 and 23 school years to Cass Clay. Or the 2022-23 school years.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ellis,
Second.
second by Johnson. Discussion.
Should we have it written on here who it's going to?
Who the milk is going to?
It just says a
Who
word, milk
got
bid.
the bid?
Oh,
Who got the bid?
Casclay.
Cass Clay.
Yeah. I was just saying, should it be on?
It's,
Is it
oh, yeah.
not important?
It'll be in the minutes because it's in the
Because it's
sheet.
Just the, yeah, wording milk bid to Cascade.
And they came in higher, but I,
Oh, your sheet
They
doesn't
don't
have
have
the
the-
word.
they don't
Yeah,
have
mine
the
was,
milk.
yeah,
Oh, okay, mine does, so.
You have it.
You have to
Yeah,
have
but
skim,
on this, on
you have to
that
have
other sheet.
skim
Way
mixed
back.
chocolate
Okay.
milk, and they don't, they have only one.
Oh.
Yeah, there was
Okay. I didn't know that was.
better offerings, so we went with
I
the
read
higher
it.
bid, so.
No chocolate milk, that could have resulted in riots.
No skim,
It wasn't
Oh.
worth
they
it.
don't have
No
skim,
skim.
they
Not
only
worth
have
the
1%,
savings.
and that's not what part of the bid. And I read it and I remembered it. Phew, it's been a push.
Okay, further discussion? those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Motion and a second to appoint Sheena Brandt from SMS, School Management Services, as business manager for Independent School District 390, effective immediately.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Johnson,
I'll second.
second by Robita. Discussion.
Welcome aboard. Oh, she's gone.
She ran away.
I sent her home.
Why would a formal action be necessary if we're already contracted with SMS?
This is for like the banks and the different institutions to allow her access, so the banks, Region 1, there's,
Signatures on stuff?
yeah,
It's a
So-
lot to do, all the signatures and
Yeah.
making transfers, stuff like that.
so
Yeah.
she needs to have the minutes stating that she's the business manager to have access to all of our stuff, so.
And we would have done that, I don't remember it, but we did it with Crystal as well.
At some point, but I'm gonna reintroduce during our, January meeting, organizational meeting, that we do it more formally every year, so,
So that we'd go through this motion.
every
again.
year, yeah.
Okay,
Not a bad idea.
all right, effective immediately. Okay, so, I mean, tonight she's working for SMS, she's here. What other school district, I was gonna ask and I didn't,
Badger and Pine City.
she's responsible for?
For some aspects of there. I'm assuming she's
She's-
probably business ops manager.
Yeah, she's just transitioning Badger, and then
Uh-huh.
she'll be done after this year. So right now, then it'll be Lake of the Woods and Pine City.
Okay, beating that to the ground, sorry. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Welcome aboard. Passes unanimously. Motion and a second to approve adding Sheena Brandt, business manager, to the district's financial institutions and banking accounts, also effective immediately.
And
Motion.
remove Crystal and Dee.
That's
we're on
the
audit.
second
We're on
one down, that's coming down there.
Yeah.
I combined
It's
it.
we got this as a separate motion.
Look at the crib sheet.
Can I look at the
Oh,
crib
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
We don't
I was
always
reading
get
the
this, so I didn't
agenda.
know to
I
look
know.
for it.
I was reading the agenda, I'm sorry.
I should just.
I know.
spell
Still
it
make the
again.
motion.
Motion by Johnson,
I'll second.
Sunstein seconds. Discussion. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign.
There's two different motions.
Right.
Motion passes unanimously.
Don't tell you that here.
That's why we need an administrative assistant.
Motion and a
Jeff
second
Ramsel.
to remove Crystal Andine from the district's financial institutions and banking accounts effective May 27th, 2022.
I'll make that motion too.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Johnson, second by Robita. Discussion. Why is that not effective immediately?
She has to finish
Transition,
payroll.
payroll stuff,
Oh,
so.
okay.
I guess I have one thing to add. She just texted me and said she'll contact MSD LAF tomorrow to make that transition. So,
Oh, for Minnesota Trust.
yeah.
Okay. So we have some of that transition stuff, so that's why it's the 27th, so. I'd like to thank her for her years of service.
Yeah. I would like to do that. She's done a nice job, and she certainly pushed us into the 21st century here with the bookwork, so thank you. Anyway, we have a motion and a second out there. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Motion and a second to authorize Sheena Brandt, business manager, to make official district electronic transfers effective immediately.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Trask,
I'll second.
second by Sondergaard. Discussion. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Mo-
Sorry, I was late.
Okay, opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. And I need a motion and a second to approve, oh wait. I don't know if they're talking about that motion or not. You trying to-
I'm sorry.
No,
Just-
but I mean, you're trying to, something upcoming?
No, nothing. This is a sidebar that sparked my,
No, that's fair enough.
I'm sorry.
Did you see the type font?
You can remove me from the premises for disrupting the business meeting of the school board.
Motion and a second to approve a resolution 2021-2022-014, appointing Jeff Nelson, superintendent, as the identified official with authority, the Iowa, love that, and Harley Poppins, finance and HR coordinator, to act as the Iowa, the identified official with authority, to add and remove names only for the Lake of the Woods Independent School District 390.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Ellis,
Second.
second by Johnson. Discussion. Give me just a quick explanation.
It's all the stuff that we submit for special ed and region and anything that goes to the Department of Ed. There's a process where we give them permission to represent. So I'm the primary person, she's the proxy, and if you read through the resolution. So it's just, so they limit, so the district knows who has access to our data and student information, so.
We approve this every year, correct?
It's a yearly thing.
Right,
So,
okay.
and with the
remember
changing
doing
with
that.
staff,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did-
we had to do it
yeah,
again.
so.
Okay, further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimously. Other business? Okay, I guess we're adjourning at 7:17. Everybody turn off your mics. Thanks,